Hi love, welcome back. In today's class, you're making this beautiful Rastafarian mini skirt. If you're new to the channel, my name is Miss I and you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you my love for always coming back. Let's get right into class. To begin with, you're going to make a slip knot, and the foundation chain consists of a multiples of 4. So we are going to be chaining multiples of 4, and I chained 124 chains. This is for a size small to medium. If you're making for a size large, consider chaining 132 or just make a long chain that suits your desired measurements. After your desired stitches, you are going to add one more chain, just chain 1, and you are going to skip 3 stitches, and inside the 4th stitch you are going to place a double crochet. So the skip chain 3 count as your first double crochet, so we now have 2. In the next stitch you are going to place a double crochet, so this will make it 3 double crochets. You are going to chain 1, skip a stitch, and in the next stitch you are going to make a double crochet. In the next stitch again you are going to make a double crochet, and in the next stitch you are going to make a double crochet. You are going to chain 1 and skip 1 and make 3 double crochets in the next 3 stitches. So this is the pattern for row 1, and this is your last double crochet. Chain 1 again, skip a stitch and make 3 double crochet in the next 3 stitches, and you are going to continue like this until the end of the row, and I'll meet you at the end. At the end of the row, make sure your work is not twisted or turned, because we are going to be joining it to form a circle. So we are going to join, and on top of that chain 3 space we are going to make a slip stitch. There you go. Make sure that very top you are going to make a slip stitch, and now our work is turned to circle. You are going to chain 3. The chain 3 counts as your first double crochet, but before let me just attach my work so you can see the round the circle very well. So if you cut enough, if you left enough strand, you can as well attach it to the other side of your work, so it will complete the circle. So chain 3, turn your work, make your double crochet in the next stitch, and make your double crochet in the following, and make a double crochet in the last, on top of the last double crochet stitch. You are going to chain 1, skip that chain 1 stitch, and on top of your 3 double crochets in the previous row you are going to place 3 double crochets on top. Chain 1, skip the previous chain space, and place 3 double crochets on top of the previous 3 double crochets. So this is the pattern for row 2. Row 2 is the same as row 1. Row 2 is just the same as row 1. 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1. You're going to keep repeating this, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. At the end of the row, you are going to chain 1 and slip stitch on top of the chain 3 space. There you go. And now we are going to be switching our yarn to the yellow. So chain 1 and slip stitch. There you go. So we are going to be changing our yarn, and we are going to cut our first and we are joining it with our second color. So attach your yarn and we are going to chain 3, and we are going to skip the next 2 stitches, and inside the 3rd stitch we are going to place a double crochet. We are going to make an outstanding double crochet, picking it from the previous chain 1 space. So we are combining both chain 1 spaces and make a double crochet. Now in the next stitch you are going to make a double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, that is the middle stitch, and make a double crochet in the next stitch. Make an outstanding double crochet again, picking from the 2 chain 1 spaces, and in the next stitch again you make a normal double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, make a double crochet, an outstanding double crochet, and a double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, and keep repeating this until the end of the row. At the end of the row you are going to slip stitch in the 2nd space, and there you go. So now we are moving to row 4, and row 4 you start with chain 4. So chain 3 is a double crochet, chain 1. So if you make 4, if you chain 4, it means a double crochet, chain 1. So you are going to place 3 double crochets on top of the double crochets. You are going to chain 1 and place 3 double crochets on top of the previous double crochets, chain 1, place 3 double crochets in the next 3 stitches, and you are going to repeat this until the end of the row. So basically this is a repetition row from row 3, row 4. So we are going to repeat row 3 and 4 until we have our desired length. So at the end of the row you are going to slip stitch inside the 3rd stitch, and we are going to switch our colors. We'll be switching our colors after every 2 rows. So connect your next color, and we are going to chain 4 again. And in switching colors you can also decide to turn your work after every 2 rows. Let's see how to do that. So chain 4, turn your work. This is if you decide to turn your work after every 2 rows. You are going to skip 1, and in the next stitch you are going to make a double crochet. Make an outstanding double crochet and make a double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 1, skip a stitch, make a double crochet, an outstanding double crochet, and a double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 1. As I said, this is a repetition row. Chain 1, skip 1, make a double crochet, an outstanding double crochet, and a double crochet, chain 1. So all the spike rows are the same. That is, this particular row is called the spike row. So keep repeating this until the end. At the end of the row you are going to slip stitch in the 3rd stitch, and you are going to chain 4. So this is if you decide to be turning your work, this is how you're going to work it. Turn your work. Inside the very first stitch you're going to place a double crochet, and inside the next stitch you're going to place a double crochet. Chain 1, place 3 double crochets in the next 3 stitches. Chain 1, place 3 double crochets in the next 3 stitches. So this is a repetition row, so keep repeating row 3 and row 4 until you have your desired length. I'll be joining the green color, and I would repeat again red, yellow, black, green, red, yellow, black, green, and I'm going to make 9 rows, and I'll meet you when I have my 9 rows. So each 2 sets is a row. I'm counting each change of color as a row. So the red is 2, but I'm counting it as 1. So we are going to keep repeating this, and I'll meet you when I'm done with my 9 rows. But if you're counting it a single row by row, then you would have 18 rows. So keep alternating. If you want to work in straight line, I've already showed you. Just watch how to do that with the yellow row, and if you want to be alternating it, just see how to do on just repeat the black row, how we work the black row. So keep working this, and I'll meet you when I'm done with my 18 rows or 9 rows. This is my 18 row completed, and this is what your work should be looking like. So at the end of the row, I'm going to chain 1, cut and fasten your work, and this is how it looks like. And now you're going to turn your work, and you make sure to cut and fasten all loose ends. So we would have a lot of loose ends. I didn't want to work the tail ends as I go. So yeah, cut and fasten all loose ends. Now you're going to place the stitch marker in the middle of your work. So divide your work into 2, like where you're going to place the lace. So divide your work into 2, and now we are going to make a long strand. So after the 2, I want the strand to be at the side, the tie of my work. So what I did with the strand is I chained 60 and connected the red yarn and chained 100, and then I connected the black yarn again and chained 60, because I want the red to be on top of the waist, right? So after that, what you are going to do is that just make sure, if you want the strand to be in the center, that is where the stitch marker is, you will start weaving in from the center. And if you want the lacing or the strand to be on the tie, or just on the tie, just make sure you count 3 stitches apart and connect your strands all around. So when you are done connecting all around, you are going to again work your darning needle down. So you are picking row by row, and when I say row, meaning 2 rows combined. So we are picking it row by row, and we are working the strands down to the bottom of the skirts. So this is basically how I did it. If you have any solid method of lacing, please do, and if you don't, then you can as well follow what I'm doing. And yes, this is basically the end of the skirt. So you can pull to have that draw effect. And now I'm going to take my stitch marker, make sure you cut and fasten all loose ends. And now I'm going to show you how to fix the beads at the bottom of the skirt. This is totally optional. If you don't like the beads, we are done. You are done with your skirt. Just tie it, and yeah. But if you want to attach your beads, then just wait 1 more minute and we shall get to how to attach the beads. So first off, you are going to take your darning needle, and we are going to cut a small piece of yarn, not too long, and depending on how many you want to arrange your beads on. And we are going to take a needle and pass both threads inside, and now you can place your beads. Like, you can fix as many as you want, but I'm going to make 3 blacks, 2 green and 1 gold, but I'll be alternating this anyways. But basically this is how to fix your beads, not in any order, but if you want to arrange it in order you can go as well. You can just do as you desire. So after that, you're going to take your darning needle off and make sure you make a knot so the very first bead cannot come out. So make sure you secure it with a very big knot, and I'll go ahead and do that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel up until this point and you made it up until this point, my love, my darling, my baby, please do. And if you're a returning subscriber and you've made it up until this point, leave me a heart sign under the comment section. It's always nice to know. So cut and make sure you go into each hole, and this is what your work should be looking like. Bye bye.